Welcome back student, this is second lecture on EMI. In previous lecture we have learned the basics of EMI like what is flux and how to change flux, because when flux is changing EMF is induced, right? So in this topic lecture we will talk about the type of like EMI, what type of inductions happens, okay? So types of EMI, we divide into three categories. One is called static EMI, one is called dynamic EMI, and last one is called what? Periodic EMI. Okay, where the static EMI happens? Here we learn two things. One we call here self-induction, and one is called what? Mutual induction. Hope you heard these terms already. Self and mutual induction. Dynamic will happens when a rod is moving through a magnetic field. The rod may be moving like it may be moving linearly or maybe rotating also. Okay, so like conductor moving. This is also called motional EMF. We'll talk. Okay, and periodic EMI happens when the coil is what? Rotating. This happens in your generator or dynamo, right now. You say a conductor or your coil is what? Rotating. Okay, we'll see. Okay, here dynamic means moving in a straight line, linear motion. Periodic means what? Conductor is what? Rotating. Okay, so first we're talking static EMI. So we'll talk about self-induction, mutual induction. Let's talk what they are. So we're talking about what? Self-induction. What is self-induction? Induction meaning is what? Simple, like little meaning of induction is what? Like producing something without touching. Okay, that's called what? Induction. This word also come in electrostatic also. We can induce charge also. So without touching we can induce charge, right? Induction. So what is self? Self means same. You're talking about same coil and something is happening in the same coil. When flux is changing in the one coil and EMF is induced in the same coil, then it's called what? Self-induction. Okay. Okay, let me repeat once more. What is self-induction? You have a coil and some magnetic flux linked with that coil is changing. Then EMF is induced in the same coil. This is called what? Your self-induction. Let me write a few words here. That like when flux linked. We want to change flux. So generally we change here what? Current. A coil is given to you, area and these things we keep constant. So current what? Changing. Current is growing or decaying. Then what happens? Your flux will change. So EMF will be induced. Correct. So when flux linked with a coil is changing, correct, then what happens? EMF is induced in same coil. Then this phenomenon is called what? Self-induction. Okay, yes, self-induction. Suppose you have some solenoid or you have some like a coil, anything. Okay, suppose you have coil this and some current was changing here, suppose growing or decaying, increasing or decreasing. So magnetic flux link, magnetic field and magnetic flux linked with this coil is changing. So an opposing EMF or you say opposing your current is produced what? In this your coil, right? Okay, so this phenomenon is called what? Self-induction. Now look here, how you say mathematically. Suppose flux linked with a coil is directly proportional to what? Current. Why? Flux is directly proportional to magnetic field and magnetic field is proportional to what? How much current you have right now. So flux produced here is directly proportional to what? Your current. So we remove this proportionality sign and put a constant here. That constant is called what? Li. So your L is nothing but it's called what? Your self-inductance, or you just say what? Inductance alone. Okay, so your L is a constant, is called what? Inductance of the coil. Okay, inductance. L is called what? Inductance. It's a constant. So once more, self means same coil. If flux linked with the coil is changing, current is flowing in that coil and so flux is changing there and EMF is induced in same coil. Okay, then this is called what? Self-induction. So look here, flux is equal to what? Li, right? Yes. Now see, what you want? You want to know what is EMF induced. Okay, let me talk first about this. Cell is called inductance. It's a constant right now. So let's few more things about this. What is SI unit of this? L. Okay, SI unit is called what? Like, if you watch carefully, L, phi by I, right now. So it's Weber per ampere, but we have another unit is called what? Henry also. Okay, so generally write what? Henry, or you can also write Weber. Okay, Weber per ampere. Okay, write like this one, Weber per ampere. Okay, this way also you can write, or generally will write what? Henry only. Then write, you can write Weber per ampere because flux by current is what? Your L. Okay, dimension you talk. Look here, dimension of flux we have learned. Remember, flux dimension was energy and what? Per ampere, right? That answer came. So here divide by one more current, then answer become like this one: m power 1, L power 2, T power minus 2, A power minus 2. Remember that this is nothing but energy. So it's very easy to remember. Dimension of flux they ask, or inductance they ask in exam. Energy, ampere power minus 2, current power minus 2, right? Yes. Okay. So self induction is a constant. You understood SI units and what dimension also you understood. Now we want to know that what is EMF induced here in terms of what? Self induction. Means in terms of L we want to calculate what? How much EMF is induced. So let's, because EMF induced is what? Already main formula is what? Minus d phi by dt, right? Yes, means you have to differentiate the flux equation. So what is flux equation here? Li. Let's differentiate this. So when differentiate, what you will get? L is a constant, right? So minus L only, then rate of change of current. This is what your EMF induced due to self induction in a coil. Very, very important. Okay, lot of questions they have asked and very, very simple questions. Okay, so EMF induced is equal to what? Some constant. That's called self induction or inductance, right? Rate of change of current in that coil. Correct, right? If current is flowing constant, no change in current, then EMF will not induce, right? So we need a change in current. This is a rate of change of current. Okay, be careful. Okay, suppose how they ask an exam, directly question they ask on this formula. I will give some example, and they ask to calculate the inductance of like some, we have just two popular example. One is what your solenoid, one is what your like a coil, okay, or a circular loop. So I am finding those things. Let me write here. So first you want to calculate like self inductance, or just inductance also I can say, of a solenoid. Okay, this was asked in exam also. You have a solenoid. In previous topic we have learned that what is solenoid, what is magnetic field of solenoid. This is called L, length of solenoid, N is the number of turn here, and some current is what? Changing here. Some current is flowing and this current is what? Changing. Okay, constant current will not induce EMF, right? Already we have learned. So this is some solenoid and some current is growing here or decaying here. Then we want to know what is self inductance, what is L of this what? Solenoid. So how will do? Look here, flux in this will be Li only. Okay, yes, you don't need to write number of turn. Okay, okay. Now what is magnetic field? You can write N, B, A and cos theta. We are taking as what? 0. Cos 0 we are taking always. Okay, maximum flux we are talking. This is one equation, Li. Okay, here I said that the number of turn you write, no need to write. Okay, this is the total flux itself. Now look here, flux is what? Also equal to number of turn. What is the magnetic field due to a solenoid? Remember, mu naught Ni by L. This was the formula in last chapter we have learned. Okay, magnetic field due to a long solenoid. Okay, so when we put here mu naught Ni, okay, by L into what? Area. Now these are the two flux equations, one flux Li, one flux in terms of NBA, right? Two formula got. Let's equate them. So if you equate them, you are getting this answer. What are you getting? L is equal to, look here, area get cancelled. No, what I am cancelling, sorry. Once again, current, this equation and this equation you are equating. Let me write here if you confuse. Flux is equal to Li, okay, and flux here came what? Mu naught N square I A by L, right? Okay, this length of solenoid I am writing small l, because capital L I am writing for what? Self induction. Okay, so this I am writing small l. Length of the solenoid I am writing what? Small l, because capital L simply writing for what? Inductance. Okay, so look here. So what get cancelling? Current get cancelled both sides. That's your answer. What is the answer? Self inductance of solenoid mu naught N square A by L. That's all, done. Self inductance of solenoid. So if they are self inductance of any other object, what you are doing? One equation you have phi is equal to Li, one equation writing in terms of what? Magnetic field, NBA, right now? Yes. Suppose this is a magnetic, self-induction of a solenoid. Suppose I ask you, like self-inductance of a circular coil or of a coil, I am asking. You have a coil, this is a coil of radius r and some current is there I, then what is self-inductance of this coil? Same procedure you have to follow. One equation is what? Flux is equal to always Li, done. Then flux you can also write NBA, correct, maximum flux. Then magnetic field due to a circular coil is what? Mu naught I upon 2r, remember? Yes, let's put all these values and equate these two. So when you equate this, you are getting this answer. Okay, this flux becomes N, B means what? Mu naught. Okay, number of turn given, you can multiply N also. Okay, yes, for number of turn. So mu naught N I upon 2R into area. Let's equate again this equation, that equation, current get cancelled. This is your answer. So self inductance of a coil, current carrying coil is how much? Current got cancelled here. You are getting mu naught N square A by 2R. That's all. Look at the formula, this and this formula. Mu naught N square A looking similar only, just down here length of solenoid, here just 2R, correct? Okay, so this is self inductance of a coil which is carrying some current. Okay, yes. Now what happens? Self induction. Now another term is called what? Mutual induction. Self means a same coil, current changing in a coil and EMF is induced in the same coil, then it's called what? Self induction. Mutual means there will be now two coils. Okay, so current will be changing in one coil, means flux linked with one coil will be changing. So EMF is induced what in next coil. Mutual induction will happen. So let's see, I am writing it here. So second topic is called what? Mutual induction. So I am not writing definition. Okay, let me write if you want. Okay. So what happens here? Two solenoid, two coils, any two things. Okay. Like I say, these are the two coils and current is changing in this coil. Okay, and there is no current in this coil. I am saying this current changing in first coil, EMF is induced in what? In this coil. Then it's called what? Your mutual induction. So let me write few words here. When two coils or solenoid, I think, placed nearby. Okay, and current is, you can say current, you can say field, you can say flux, all. Okay, when flux linked with one coil changes. Okay, flux linked with this one coil is changing and EMF is induced in next coil. Okay, second coil, that. Okay, then this phenomenon is called what? Mutual induction is called what? Mutual induction. Okay, write properly. So two objects you have, two coils you have, two solenoids you have, two toroid, anything. Okay, they are placed nearby. Okay, parallel. Generally we put them parallel to get maximum flux linkage. Okay, we will see. So when flux linked with one coil is changing, they can say flux link changing, second the field changing or current is changing here, then what happens? EMF is induced in next coil, then this is called what? Mutual induction. Okay, yes. So like here we did, the flux linked is proportional to what? Current, then you put a constant, exactly same thing we will do. What I am saying, flux is proportional, again how much current, how much flux changing by in this coil is how much current. Then if you put a constant here, it becomes M into I. Look here, there is no big difference. Self induction, you put a constant, is called L, is called inductance or self inductance. Then your M is called your mutual inductance. Okay, so M is called what? Mutual inductance. This term tell you that how much flux is linked between these two coils. Okay, yes. Okay, mutual inductance, unit and dimension are same as self inductance. Okay, I am just writing directly. Unit and dimensions are same as self inductance. Okay, so no difference. Okay, so unit and dimension are already here. Henry is the unit of what? Mutual inductance also. Now what they can ask is, like here we found the self inductance of a solenoid, then we found for self inductance of a coil. Same they can ask you mutual inductance, okay, of two solenoid, two coils, right? Suppose I write here. So So I am writing here first point, mutual. Okay, I forgot to write formula for EMF induced. This is a formula like this. We wrote formula, then we found what is EMF induced. So we just differentiated this equation. So what is EMF induced in the second coil? So we know is what, minus d phi by dt, correct? Let's differentiate that. M is a constant, so rate of change of current. So EMF is induced nothing but minus m into di by what, dt. Some constant into what, rate of change of current. Exactly similar formula we see here. Some constant to what, rate of change of current. Okay, when current changing, EMF is induced. Constant current, then no EMF will be induced, correct? Yes. Now see, let me write this point, that mutual inductance of two, let's talk solenoid first. Okay, you have two solenoid and what, their mutual inductance. Generally what we do coupling between what, two solenoid is a one solenoid, okay, and another solenoid we place like this way. Okay, so they have number of turns like n1 and n2, something number of turns. Okay, area is what, a, and length is what, l. Then exactly same thing you have to do. What you have to do, look here, I am telling directly shortcut. Same thing, write formula, flux is equal to like mi. Okay, this is one equation, mi. Then flux is equal to what, nba, correct? Number of turn, like one solenoid is producing field. So what is field due to this solenoid, big solenoid, is write like same formula, mu naught n1I by length. Then what, nba, same procedure. So what will change, look at this formula here, n square comes here, this one solenoid, this second solenoid, number of turns n1, n2. So instead of that, what answer come, actually directly I am writing m is nothing but mu naught. Instead of n square, just write n1 into n2 into what, area by what, length. That's all. This is your mutual inductance of a two solenoid. Okay, look here, just single solenoid is just n square, here becomes what, n1, n2, number of turns of both is coming. Okay, yes. Same way, you want to write what, mutual inductance of two coil, right? Like we did here for a single coil. Same you want to do for two coil. Look here, this is a one coil, let's call that radius as r1. Okay, some current is changing here, I, and another coil is placed concentrically here of radius r2. So current is changing in first coil, bigger coil, outer coil, then EMF is induced in what, second coil. How much induced, that we want to calculate. So exactly same procedure. So okay, let me do this. Okay, so flux one equation is what, mi. Okay, done. Flux second equation is what, nba. We are calculating that what is the flux linked with this coil. So number of turn there, let's give name, outer as n1, that we give number of turn as n2. Okay, so n1. Magnetic field produced by bigger ring, outer ring. What is magnetic field? Mu naught ni upon what? What is the magnetic field due to this ring? Mu naught. And what we calling? Okay, outer we calling n2. So this is what, n2 actually. So n1 I upon 2 r1. Okay, this is a magnetic field produced by the outer ring, right? Outer coil. Okay, yes. So I am putting it here, just mu naught and I1 I upon what, 2 r1 into what, area. Okay, now area of what, this is important here, area of the smaller, where we are finding that how much flux linked with the smaller ring. So area of the smaller rings, small ring is what, pi r2 square, pi r square, that's the area. Okay, so let's simplify this term, that's your answer. So what is the answer? You say that we have to equate these two terms, this is one term, this is two term, current get cancelled, so we are getting m answer. M answer coming like this one, mu naught n1 n2, correct? Okay, pi r2 square upon what, 2 r1, that's your answer. So in an exam they have asked self induction actually so far. Okay, not mutual like this way, but you have to remember them, it's not much difficult. Okay, okay, these were what, self inductance and what, mutual inductance. Okay, okay, now we will talk like we have learned resistance, and we learned resistance, then we see the resistance, combination of the resistances, right? Resistance connected in series, resistance connected in parallel, then we find their net resistance. Exactly similar question they can ask for what, inductors. Okay, so I am talking a small point, is called combination of inductance, okay, inductors. Okay, you can connect your inductor in series and parallel also, then you can find their net inductance or something. So rule will be same just like what resistance only. So suppose you connect them in series, then how they will look. So this is one inductor, okay, this is another inductor. If they are connected like this way to some source, right, then these are called what, L1 L2, they are called in what, series. Same current will flowing through both, right, just like resistances we do. Okay, so somebody asks you what is the net, then L series nothing but what, L1 plus L2 plus it goes on. Simply addition like what we have done for resistance is for what, your inductor also. Okay, yes, you talk parallel, then how they looks. This is one inductor, this is another inductor. If you connect them this fashion, then these two are called now what, L1 L2, they will be called in what, parallel, right. So same way you want to write 1 by L parallel, then you say 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2, it goes on like that way, right. Yes, same as a resistance rule only, no special things. Now actually when you have two inductors, okay, you have self inductance, but at the same time you have got mutual inductance also, right, because there are two guys placed nearby. Okay, yes, so the self inductance and mutual inductance are related to each other. How? So I am writing relation between L and what, and self inductance. You have a single inductor, then only self inductance, but if you have two inductors with you, then they have self inductance L1 L2, then they will have a what, mutual inductance also. So how they are related by small relation is called, M is called K times of what, root L1 and L2. This is a small relation. Mutual inductance is equal to what, K times of root L1 L2. These are self inductance. K is a constant, is called coefficient of coupling. Coefficient of what, coupling. Actually this K tell you what, that how much that flux is linked. Suppose K is 1, then 100% the flux is what, linked. They are generally, we connect like parallel and very close to each other. Okay, K tell you that how much flux is linked from one coil to what, next coil. Okay, more the value of K means more the flux is linked. Okay, so suppose I give some example to understand. Like you have one solenoid like that way. Okay, this is one solenoid, and another solenoid you put inside this like that way, then in this case K will be what, 1. Okay, yes. Or suppose you have this coil, this K varies from 0 to what, 1. Suppose I say like if K is equal to 1 means what, all flux linked. Okay, full flux is linked, okay, with the next coil. Okay, between these two coil, or you can say K is 0 means no flux linked at all. Okay, correct. Yes, so the K tell you what, how much flux is linked. So what I am saying, like in this case, one solenoid is placed, another solenoid, then what is the flux linked? Full. So K coefficient of coupling will be in this case what, 1. But you have this picture, like one inductor you have placed like this one, and one inductor you have placed like this one. Then in this case K is what, 0, no coupling at all. Okay, yes. Or you have this type of picture, like this is one solenoid, then another you have like this one, they are parallel, but in this case also what, no coupling at all. Okay, yes. Or you put like this way, this one and nearby like this one, yes, coupling will be there, but K will be what, less than 1. It's not 0, more than 0, but less than 1, fully like linked here. Okay, one solenoid is another place inside another solenoid, then K is what, 1, K is 0, K is 0, and K is what, yes, some K is there, but less than 1, more than 0, right. Okay, so this is what, not much important from exam point of view, they never ask still. Okay, then with this we can talk energy concept also, that we see that we have two energy storing device in physics, one is called capacitor, one is called inductor. Okay, yes. So here we are learning inductor, so I can write here like energy stored in a inductor. Okay, you have an inductor, this inductor means it's just like solenoid, some current is flowing through this, it has some self inductance L, then how much energy it can store? So we have small derivation I am now doing. Just energy stored is given by half Li square, and everybody know about this formula. Nothing is special about this, right? Energy stored in inductor is given by half Li square. Okay, this is called energy stored in terms of what? Magnetic flux. Okay, yes. So half L is what? The self inductance, I is the current, right? Half Li square. So you know that direct question they ask on this formula. Okay, yes. Okay. What's important here? They ask energy density also, right? Energy density. So energy density, let's write mu m some symbol. Everybody knows this is nothing but energy per unit volume, right? So what is this? Energy per unit volume. This is what your energy density. So suppose you want to find that, how you write? Mu m is what? Energy. E by what? Volume. Energy is what? Half Li square, you divide by volume. Okay, then what answer comes here? Everybody know, B square upon what? Mu naught. This is very important. Remember that energy density is what? Magnetic energy density is what? Half B square upon what? Mu naught. Magnetic field square upon what? Mu naught. This is what your energy density. So what is important? I told you many times, because this many places this term came, energy density. They ask dimension in the first chapter. Okay, energy density dimension becomes equal to what? Pressure dimension, right? Remember, energy, like energy means m power 1, L power 2, T power minus 2 by volume is what? L cube. So this answer comes actually m power 1, L power minus 1 and T power. This is dimension of pressure. Correct, na? So all energy densities, we'll talk electric energy density, magnetic, then we'll talk mechanical also, right? All this energy density means energy per unit volume, any energy per unit volume. We have learned in fluid chapter also, right? Now many type of energy we learned there. So energy by volume answer comes to what? Like dimension comes to what? Pressure. So these people also call, like in electric energy stored in capacitor, also called electrostatic pressure, right? Now here also they can call it magnetic pressure also, right? Now so remember that the dimension of all energy densities are equal to what? Pressure. They measure with what? Pressure, this one, right? Yes. Okay. Energy stored in an inductor and what? Energy density formula, this one. Same we'll see electric energy density also. Electric formula, you know that energy stored in capacitor is what? Half CV square. Then you divide by volume, you get what? Half mu epsilon naught times E square. Remember this formula? We have done this. Half epsilon naught into E square. That's the energy stored per unit volume in a capacitor. Energy just is what? Half CV square. Okay, yes. Okay, now what we want to learn now after this, that you have an inductor. Look here, what's the difference between your inductor, capacitor and what your resistor? Resistor is what? You connect it to a DC battery. Okay, then you on the switch, current will flow immediately. But this thing doesn't happen in what? Inductor and what? Capacitor. Inductor and capacitor are connected to a DC source, then you on the switch, current will not flow immediately, because what happens? These are energy storing device. First these guys will store what? Energy. Once they store the energy, they start storing energy. When they are full with energy, then they will make flow of your full current, right? So look here, so we are learning a small topic, not much important, but let's learn it. So this is called, let's write heading, growth and decay of current in a inductor. You have an inductor, then how the current will grow and how current will decay. In resistor this doesn't happen. You on the switch, full will current flow. You off the switch, current will becomes what? Zero. Okay, but in inductor and capacitor this will not happen. So what happens? You have same inductor, this is inductor, or your solenoid, that's an inductor only. You connect this to a battery. Okay, actually I should not draw action. Always we need help of resistance. So suppose this is a resistance to control your current. This is what your inductor. Okay, these are connected to a DC source with help of a key. This is the key, this is a battery, this is resistance, this is what your inductance. Okay, yes. Now what happens when you on the switch? I say current doesn't flow directly. Okay, current will grow slowly. Or you off the switch, current will decay what? Slowly. Okay, yes, exponential growth and exponential decay happens. Remember, this is the same as what we have learned in nuclear physics, the nuclear decay. Remember the equation of nuclear decay? Exactly same decay equation will be here, exponential decay. Nuclear decay also what? Like exponential type. So if you remember the nuclear chapter, we wrote this equation. I am writing somewhere. Okay, okay. N by N naught is equal to what? E power minus lambda into T. Remember this equation? So current, like the number of active element at any time is equal to maximum, right? Active element minus lambda into T. This equation, exactly same equation, right, for what? The current decay in what? Case of an inductor. So how we are writing? I am not talking much about this. I am just writing directly to you. Let's see. So I am writing decay. When decay is happening first, okay, decay is easy, so I am writing, means energy is fully stored in this your inductor, okay, and now we off the key, okay, P was on, now we remove the key, means open the key, so current start decaying, okay, means current from inductor will flow into the resistance, okay, yes. So how the current will decay? Exactly same equation, the current at any time is equal to what? The maximum current, N by N naught, look here, E minus lambda into what? T. Exactly same equation you have done in nuclear physics, okay. So it's easy to answer. So for us, they don't ask actually any difficult question based on this equation in NEET, okay. Hence they have asked. But what question they have asked to us, I will discuss those. So look here, decay current at any time is what? Simply the maximum current E power minus lambda into T. Lambda is again a constant, like here you learned is called decay constant, here also called a decay constant you can call, okay. So what is lambda? You can call it decay constant, yes you can call. And what is this? Like here value we wrote something, it was some formula, here also we have formula. The lambda is simply called what? R by L, correct? Or I am writing opposite actually, I think it should be L by R. No, actually is opposite of the time, right? This is time, opposite time, so I think I am saying correct only, initial is correct, and sorry I got confused, okay, this is okay. So actually what happens now, look here, no, I am writing little wrong here, let me clean this first, one second. Okay, actually, okay, lambda, let's say, so it's a constant, it's called time constant, okay, time constant, just like we have decay constant, or here called decay constant also you can call, or time constant. Formula is what? Correct only is what? L by R only, right? Now look here, actually what is this? Like remember here also we talked decay constant, that is time taken to decay, like 63% or 37% is remaining, right? Same thing we'll talk here. Here we're talking decay. So how will say that is time taken, okay? Simply is time taken to decay to what? 37% of what? Your maximum current. How much time will take to decay what? You come up to what? 37%. Suppose 100 ampere was the maximum current. Then how much time will take to come up to what? 37 ampere. That time is called decay constant. Suppose you want to draw a simple graph. How you will draw? Current versus time graph and decay happening, okay? Yes. So inverse graph will follow, okay? Exponential decay, okay? Yes. That's what your maximum current, suppose, okay? You call that value as I naught. That current at any time is given by this equation, okay? Yes. Now let's do opposite of this. You want to talk growth, right? How you write growth equation? Look here, remember decay is given, right? This is a what? Decay equation. Then growth is what? Just opposite of this, 1 minus total, right? Opposite of this. So how you write equation? I is equal to what? Simply like I naught 1 minus, this is a decay, right? So total was 1 fraction minus decay fraction subtracting, that's your growth. So this is the equation of what? Growth of current. So when you're drawing growth, the graph how it looks? Current versus time. So now current will grow slowly exponential to what? Your maximum value of what? I know. This is a decay, this is what? Growth. Both are what? Exponential, okay? Okay. When I said NEET, there is not much direct use of these equations, right? They don't ask much numerical, but easier cases of this they have asked. I will discuss what they ask actually. Look here. It's very important point I am writing now here, that you have to remember. Okay. So when inductor is connected to DC, okay, in this chapter we are learning till here battery connected to DC source. In next chapter we learn inductor and capacitor connected to AC source. Okay. So DC, remember that we talking behavior of inductor to a DC current. Okay, direct current, how they behaves, keep in mind. Okay, first point. Actually, what they ask, they give a simple circuit to us where resistance inductors are connected and DC source connected. Then they said when Q is on, what's the current flowing through the circuit? So they asked two cases. What two cases? One, just after closing the switch, immediately once you close the switch, how this behaves, what's the current flowing, and after long time. Two cases are there. Okay, so you say that just after closing switch, or you can call initially, or you can also call what, or you can what, at time t is equal to what, 0. Look here, if they ask that some circuit is given to you and they say ask that we just close the switch, what's the current flowing through the circuit? So just after the closing switch, or you call that what is the initial current, or they can say at time is equal to 0, what is the current? So at this situation, when you are just closing the switch, at the time how the inductor behaves, it behaves like an open circuit. Just after closing a switch, or initially, or at time 0, inductor behaves like a open circuit. Yes, it behaves like what? Open circuit. Open circuit means what? Like this switch is open here, this wire is not connected, so no current can flow through this branch, means no current can flow through this branch also. Or you assume that like the inductor offers what? Infinite resistance, so current cannot flow through that inductor. Initially, just after closing the switch, or initial time 0, the inductor behaves like an open circuit. Okay, so no current will flow through the branch where L is connected. Okay, after long time what happens? After you say long time, or they say that under steady state condition, okay, under steady state condition, okay, what happens means after long time what, or they say time is equal to what? Infinite. After long time, how this inductor behaves? It behaves like a wire of 0 resistance. After this, what happens here? Inductor behaves just like what? A wire of what? 0 resistance. Means full current will flow here. It will not offer resistance. Just like what? You forget this guy, just a wire is connected here. Okay, I will see numerical example here to understand. So initially, how an inductor behaves when a DC current is flowing through this? Okay, it behaves like in a closed what? An open circuit, means huge resistance, infinite resistance it offer like that, so no current flow through that branch. After long time or in steady state condition, okay, say time infinite something, the inductor behaves like a wire of 0 resistance, full current will flow, it does not offer like any resistance to that DC current, right? Let's see numerically how we do them. Okay, we have few questions here based on this topic. Okay, let's see that. So question number 1 says, calculate current by the battery, current produced by the battery just after closing the switch and after long time. This is circuit given to you, right? So this is what? Growth and decay of current in an inductor recently that I discussed with you. Okay, so listen here. Just after closing switch, just after closing this switch, or at the time 0, okay, at the starting time, how the inductor behaves? It behaves like an open circuit, no current will flow. So initially, look here, this is a battery. You say current start from here, current comes here, then see two branches, this branch and that branch, no current will flow in that branch, because this inductor behaves like an open circuit, or you say having like infinite resistance, so no current can flow through that branch. So forget that branch, because no current is flowing here, so simply current will flow in this loop only 2 ampere, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, these are two resistance connected in series, because no current is flowing through this branch. Okay, yes. So in this case, what is the current? You say that EMF by what? Resistance. EMF is what? 10 volt. What is the resistance? 2 plus what? 3. So that becomes 2 ampere. So initial current will be this much. Initially, inductor behaving like an open circuit, or say resistance of what? Infinite value. Okay. Then after long time, what happens? After long time, how inductor behaves? It behaves like a resistance, or just a wire. Okay, it's a wire of 0 resistance. So after long time, how this circuit looks? Like this is not there, just a straight wire, that's all. It look like that. Okay, because does not offer any resistance, current will flow. So in this case, what is current now? Again, EMF by resistance. What is the resistance? Okay, EMF is 10 volt on resistance. Look at this 6 and 3, that becomes in parallel. 6 and 3, answer becomes what? 2. Now this 2 and 2 will be in series, so net resistance becomes 4. It means what is the answer? Your current 2.5 ampere. That's the current flowing through the circuit. Okay, yes. Another question is given, same question for this circuit. Okay, question I'm not changing. Calculate the current given by battery initially and what finally. Okay, just after the closing switch and after long time. Okay, some switch will be here. Okay, I know drawn switch. It's okay. So look here. Initially what happens? Where is the inductor? Resistance, inductor here. Okay, inductor of some Henry given, suppose 10 Henry. Okay, value. So just after closing switch, it behaves like an open circuit. Current start from this battery, 2 branches, this branch and that branch. No current will go in that branch because inductor connected here. No current in that branch. Okay, so current will go in only in this branch. So 5 ohm and 5 ohm are connected in series. So current will be obviously say what 10 by what 10, 1 ampere initially, right? After long time, what happens? This behave like a wire of zero resistance. So you can forget that. You just say the wire connected like that. So look here, 5 and 5 are in what series? 10. Now this 10 and that 10 will be in parallel. 10 and 10 in parallel. What is the answer? 5. So new current will be what? 10 by 5 means what? 2 ampere. Correct? Yes. Okay. Simple only. So remember that what happened initially, what happened after long time when an inductor is connected to a DC source. Okay. Okay. Let's see next question. Current through a coil is given, okay, by this picture. Okay, current in a coil is given by this. You see, current versus time graph is given to you. Current growing, then current is decaying, again current is what? Growing, right? Yes. Okay, draw the induced EMF versus time graph. We have to draw a graph between induced EMF and what? Time. Look here, I am drawing here itself. EMF versus time graph we want to draw. Yes. Look here, to understand, I am writing some point. This is the current growing from this point to like point A to point A. I am calling point A, decaying from this point B and this point what? C. Look here, inductor we are talking. Okay, so current is growing, right? What's inductor EMF induced? Everybody know EMF is what? Minus L di by dt, right? This is a constant. L is a constant. Forget this. Now we need rate of change of current. So see in this graph from here to here, O to A, this graph, rate of change of current is what? Constant, right? Current is changing, growing at constant rate because it's straight line. Look at I and T graph, right? Slope gives what? Rate. So it's a constant slope. So this is what? Constant. So from here to here and constant EMF will be induced and minus sign here because this graph in positive is rising graph. So slope is positive. This is a positive. So minus sign is there. So EMF will be negative. Means this is O, A point, B point and C point. This graph will be here and constant EMF will be induced this much. Okay. Now from here to here, point A to point B, your current is decaying. Current is decaying, rate of decay is constant again but negative. This minus, that minus become plus. So EMF will be induced in what? Again opposite direction here. Correct? Again this graph from B to C, graph is rising. Okay, current is increasing, growing and at constant rate. So again EMF induced what? Here to here like that way. Okay, that's what your EMF induced. So this will be your graph for induced EMF. Okay. Question number 4. What it says? The current in a solenoid of 500 turns having a length of 20 cm and radius of 1 cm changes at the rate of 0.1 ampere per second. Find the EMF induced in it. So they are asking solenoid. What is EMF induced? EMF induced is what? Minus L di by dt, right? Here rate of change of current is given to you. Yes, given. So we need what? Self-inductance of a solenoid. Self-inductance formula recently you learned is called mu naught N square A by what? Length. Yes, that we have to put here. So EMF will be equal to minus mu naught N square A by length. That's your L and rate of change of current. I think all are given to us. Okay. Mu naught is what? 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. Number of turn is given how much? 500. So 500 into what? 500. Area also given because radius given 1 centimeter. Pi r square. Okay. Pi r power minus 4 centimeter given. Okay. And rate of change of current di by dt also given how much? 0.1. 0.1 all divided by length of the solenoid, that also given as 20 sin 20 into 10 power minus 2. Okay, this number you can simplify, I am not doing here. So some answer will come here, that's what volt will come, okay. Yes, SI rate, okay. Yes, EMF is what? Potential only, okay. So please calculate this number by yourself. Okay, let's see one theory important question is there. As soft iron core is introduced in a inductor, what happens to its self inductance? Look here, you have some solenoid, that's your inductor. You introduce a what? Iron rod or something here, right? What happened to self inductance? What is self inductance formula? Is what? For solenoid like mu naught n square A by what? L. So when you're putting in a rod here, what changing? Number of turn not changing, area, length not changing, what changing? This is changing. Mu naught is what? When is free space is there, air, right? Nothing is there in the core. But you put an iron rod, we know that iron is what? Ferro type of material, right? It has large permeability, right? Now, because permeability of any object is given by relative permeability into what? Mu naught, right? Relative permeability of any object is always more than 1. So relative permeability of iron is actually very high. We have learned recently in properties of magnetic material. So when introduce the iron rod here, what happens? This value is what increase. Instead of mu naught, we write what? Mu r into what? Mu naught, and mu r is always more than 1. So what happens? Permeability is increased. So what? Self inductance will be increased. So what is the answer to your? Self inductance will what? Increase when you introduce a rod there. Okay. Yes. Apart from this, they ask a direct question based on this general formula that EMF induced is what? Minus L di by dt in a same coil or self inductor something, right? Here they ask that some current was flowing. They said some inductor is there, this is an inductor, okay, of inductance L, let's say 5 Henry. This is given. They said that 2 ampere current was flowing. Then suddenly current is got reversed. What they say? We have some coil or inductor anything, and inductance is given to you. They said current was flowing, some amount of current like 2 ampere was flowing, and this current suddenly we reverse it, and time will be given very small time. So like here, current suddenly got reversed 2 ampere in time, let's say 0.01 second. They will ask you what is EMF induced. Okay, very important. So when you reverse the direction of current, actually what you want, right? You want to write this formula. You said E is equal to minus L di by dt, right? L is okay, given to you. Rate of change of current. So this di by t, what you can write like I2 minus I1 by time. Yes, rate of change. Like look here, this direction you calling current positive current 2 ampere, okay? Then when you got reversed, then this current you will call minus 2. So initially, look here, I2 final current is what? Minus 2 ampere minus what? Initial current 2 ampere by time 0.01. This will come. Answer is will not be 0. If you write directly without sign, like change in current, you say 2 ampere should be 0. No, direction get reversed. So you have to put extra minus, this become minus 4 by what time. This is very important because this type of question they have asked 2 times in our exam. It's quite simple. So suddenly when you reversing direction, current was flowing in one direction, suddenly reverse, you put it minus I. So when you write change in current here, okay, write it properly, okay, it will get addition, it will happen, not subtraction. So watch it carefully and do it. And what happens now? Look here, this question was asked directly. Current equation is given to you. They said that same question, like some inductor is there and L is given to you. Then they said current is growing or decaying according like the what 3t square plus 10t plus what 20. Some equation is given to you. Okay. They will ask you how much EMF induced, then time will be given 0.1 second, some time will be given. So no problem, you are writing formula E is equal to minus L di by dt, right? L is given directly to you. Rate of change of current you need. So you have to differentiate this and put your time. Like this is the equation you want to differentiate 6t plus 10, then put your given time here 0.1. So you say 0.6 plus 10, you say 10.6. That's what your rate of change of current. You can put it here and you find your EMF induced. So this way, what? Reversing the direction of current suddenly and directly current equation given, you differentiate this and find your EMF induced. Okay. So that was all about what topic? Static EMI, which we talk mainly what here? Self induction and what? Mutual induction. In next lecture, we will talk about what? Dynamic EMF and periodic EMF. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day.